I'm Anil Mall. I'm here today in sunny California with Jim Pakulis. Jim is the CEO of TransCanna Holdings. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Anil.
Thank you. Why don't we start off by you telling our audience a little bit about TransCanna Holdings and what you guys are doing in this space?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you. We started TransCanna Holdings as a private entity about 18 months ago with the intentions of having an IPO. So we started organically. We started from scratch. And the game plan was basically twofold. One was to go ahead and create state-of-the-art distribution and logistics in the state of California. And separately, we wanted to create up to 15 quality premium brands in the marketplace. And so that was the inception of getting TransCanna up and going. We were fortunate enough to have a very successful IPO January 9th, opened up at 50 cents and today closed at about $2.54. So we've had a beautiful 6 weeks.
Jim, why don't you tell us a little bit about the management team that you guys have kind of brought forward to put the company and the projects together?
Sure. The game plan was to go with quality as opposed to quantity. So having been in the industry for almost 10 years now, I'm actually a pioneer in the industry in California. I've been able to, I don't want to say cherry pick, but certainly locate and bring in the best of the best in each of the different categories that we're looking for management. We haven't fulfilled all the spots yet, but we've done a significant amount of time, put tremendous amount of energy into finding the right people. As an example, about a year ago, we came across a small private boutique company here in California called Goodfellas, and Goodfellas specializes in marketing and design in the cannabis sector. Now, these folks had a background of roughly 15 to 20 years in the music industry and the alcohol beverage industry doing branding and design. So they know it very, very well. So we were fortunate enough to acquire some assets from them, and as we reported about a week or two ago, we signed an LOI to acquire the balance of their company. So this is the type of entities that we look for. We also contacted and retained the services of Benson & Hanson, which is, I believe, the only M&A firm in the state of California that specializes in cannabis. Okay. And so they have gone out on our behalf looking for talent as well. They've actually introduced us to they have actually sourced about 500 different companies in California. We've looked at about 30 of them with top tier management. We like 4 or 5 of them. So we have a very stringent vetting process in regards to not only acquisitions, but in regards to talent that we want to bring into TransCanna. When the day is over with, we want the best of the best. We want the A team, and we want to grow it relatively fast, making sure we have our SOPs in order, but we want to be the best of the best over the next 3 to 4 years.
Now, Jim, I know you guys had some really good news that crossed the wires earlier today, and why don't you talk a little bit about that option that you guys announced?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Benson & Hanson, Chris Carlson, one of the partners of Benson & Hanson, the mergers and acquisitions firm, he had identified a property for us, which I have been fortunate enough to go ahead and put an option on behalf of the company, which has accepted to acquire the facility. It's an absolutely tremendous facility. It's one of the largest, arguably the largest vertically integrated facility in the state of California. It's roughly 196,000 square feet. It sits on about 6.5 acres, okay, which we have intentions of going and building out onto that. It also had about $8.9 million worth of tenant improvements done to the property over the last 2 years. Okay. The individual that did the TI work on it specializes in USD grade refrigeration and HVAC, and he builds facilities like this throughout the United States. So having done all the tenant improvements, it was done to the highest quality. It was USDA grade for most of the facility. And so inside it right now, we have the capability of having logistics, all transportation and distribution. We can do remediation of the cannabis. We're able to go ahead and do extraction, both high and low volatility extraction, manufacturing, bottling, grow, and nursery just within inside the facility. We've architecturally drawn out the other 6 acres, roughly 6 acres, for 2-story grow. Okay. The game plan here is to be completely self-enclosed, having our own ecosystem. Again, getting back to those 15 premium brands, we feel it's crucial that we don't have to rely on a third party to give us the needs, either the biomass or providing us the service. We believe that if we can have that self-contained in our own ecosystem, we will have the consistency to be able to deliver to the dispensaries on time, every time. So that's our game plan. We also believe that, as we're seeing with Constellation Brands, as we're seeing with Altria, as we're seeing with other major corporations dropping billions of dollars in the cannabis space, we believe once we get our SOPs down, we have to become large relatively quickly. And I think this building is a perfect catalyst for us to become one of the largest entities in the state of California. And as a side note, California, 39 million residents, 240 million visitors per year. So combined, roughly 89% of the US population touches California on an annualized basis. So we like California a lot.
Great. That's great news. We're hoping one day we get to come out and do a visit of the facility.
Absolutely.
As well, and we'd love to highlight the fact. I know you talk a little bit about being vertically integrated as a company in the cannabis space. What are some milestones maybe investors can look out for in the next few months?
Sure. I think first and foremost is the acquisition of the property. We're in the financing stage right now. We have relatively a short window in order to go ahead and close that. I'm personally confident that we'll go ahead and reach that. Subsequently, during that next 30 to 45 days, I'm already started interviewing key top people to be operators for the facility. So again, I keep on hitting on standard operating procedures. Without your SOPs down in place, then you're not going to get the successes that we require in order to move forward. So I'd hate to throw out any numbers or hate to throw about any type of particular brands that we're going after. I want to create the foundation first, and that'll be the catalyst for us to grow.
Of course. Again, you've filled us in on a lot of stuff that the company is up to. We look forward to the upcoming months and more news from you guys. Why don't we end off by you telling us a little bit about your experience as a company that's listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange?
Phenomenal. Second to none. The CSE has been nothing but absolutely wonderful to work with. I have been in the public realm, in the cannabis space, in one fashion or another, close to 10 years now. So I've seen almost everything imaginable in this sector. And I can say hands down that what you and your firm have created is an absolute blessing for a small entrepreneurial company wanting to take it to the public realm and then wanting to grow. You provide so much assistance and guidance, and everyone answers the phone, and there's so much common sense that's used on your exchange. And I tell you, we cannot thank you all enough for that.
Thank you. We appreciate that feedback. Again, I look forward to sitting down with you again, and thanks again.
Thank you.